In 2003, a man named Aron Ralston planned to go skiing early in the morning with his friend. However, his friend said, "Something came up and I can't come." Ralston, who had been waiting for days for this trip, was disappointed that his friend couldn't make it. Still, he grabbed his backpack, got into his car, and drove south toward Canyonlands National Park. Canyonlands is a vast canyon area people usually go hiking or biking. The park is so large that once you're inside, it's rare to see another person. Aron brought his bicycle with him, put on his backpack, and entered the park riding his bike. Inside his backpack were mostly climbing tools, 2 sandwiches, a multi-purpose knife, a video camera, and a single bottle of water. He biked 24 kilometers into the park until he reached a point where he could no longer continue by bike. He locked his bicycle to a tree and continued on foot. Ralston was very adventurous and loved dangerous places, so he moved through narrow rock passages where it was possible, but risky to pass. At one point, he needed to climb up by grabbing a rock and pulling himself up. But the rock wasn't secure. It suddenly came loose, and Ralston's arm became trapped between 2 rocks. He immediately tried to pull his arm free, but realized he couldn't. It was stuck. The rock weight cut off blood flow, causing his arm to quickly go numb. Still, he didn't stop trying and kept struggling to free himself. He decided to take out his knife and cut off his arm. But as soon as he applied a little pressure, he regretted it and put the knife back. Night fell. Ralston was stranded in the desert, unable to sleep because of the cold, constantly moving to keep himself warm. As time passed, his condition worsened, and he began hallucinating. After 2 days, he took out his camera and began recording, saying goodbye to his family. In his visions, he saw a baby sitting on his left arm, a child with no right arm. He felt this baby was his future son, telling him to cut off his arm and save himself. Suddenly, Ralston made his decision. Using his small serrated knife, he painfully cut through the flesh of his arm until he reached the bone. Knowing that if he took too long, he would bleed to death, he applied extreme pressure and eventually broke the bone. His arm was finally free. He tore his clothing and tightly tied it around his injured arm to stop the bleeding. Despite his condition, Ralston began running. He covered 11 kilometers until he finally saw a couple hiking in the distance. He reached them, and they quickly took him to a nearby station. About an hour later, a rescue helicopter arrived. Inside the helicopter, his arm was bandaged and he was given blood. Once he reached the hospital, he was immediately taken into surgery, and doctors treated his severely injured arm. After 6 months, Ralston returned to the activity he loved.